What's up, Nitro Gang? This is a Kyosho Fox 2.0. See that? Check this out. Boom. Steering. Four-wheel steering. So here it goes. And today, I am going to be trying to make this great again by doing a first startup on this thing.
If you smell what the
Nitro World Order
is cooking.
Nitro World Order. Nitro World Order. See that? This is what this particular model, the Kyosho Fox, is known for. The awesome, easy to lift, clamshell style body. Very easy to surface. Now, other than the fact that this body is unique, this is basically a Kyosho Mad Crusher, which is similar to the brand new Kyosho USA 1. Now, since the USA 1 is back, I figured, why not make one of their older designs as great as it used to be? But of course, it's a Kyosho. There are bound to be a ton of problems because I've run into them in the past, and I almost guarantee you guys, we're gonna run into another problem with this Kyosho Fox. For this video, we have ourselves a brand new Kyosho KE25 motor. This was donated to the channel by Frank Campbell. Thank you so much, bro. I still have to break this in. It has never really even seen any fuel. Now, I did a whole bunch of work to it. Let me go over the chassis in some pretty good detail so you guys understand exactly what it took. This chassis originally had basically nothing here. It had no motor, it had no electronics, it had no servo linkages, it had basically nothing other than the drivetrain and the 3-speed baby. Now, currently, we could see the 3-speed, right? It's functional. Now, I hope that the clutch bearings that Kyosho uses, the roller bearings, do not piss me off, but it might actually happen. This particular truck is quite notable because check this out. It's got ourselves four-wheel steering. You see that? So the front steers pretty great. The back obviously steers a little bit less, okay? But it does have legitimate four-wheel steering. We are using basically one of the cheapest Amazon servos. It's those 20-kilogram servos, right? With this metal servo horn. I highly recommend you guys pick this up. If it could steer these giant tires on the ground like this and the rear tires with no problems, you're not gonna need more torque than this, guys. Trust me, there's plenty of torque in this thing right here. So I had to fully create my own linkages. Now, luckily enough, Frank Campbell donated an entire linkage set. I just had to follow the Kyosho owner's manual, which in itself is a little bit kind of complicated. Had to install my own power switch here, my own servos, of course. Other than that, the engine was donated, and I'm hoping that the 3-speed clutch bell sits quite straight because I've already kind of determined that there is a whole ton of friction sometimes from these roller bearings. But hopefully it'll be okay. Now, the one thing that kind of pisses me off, there's a cool little LED light bar here in the front, right? Check that out, light bar. The wire is cut off. So I'm going to see if I can solder on a new power connector, get it over to the receiver box here. Other than that, Kyosho Fox, baby. You know, other than the clutch bearings and some weird Kyosho decision making, there's really nothing that can kill it. Check this out. Boom. Single body clip here in the front, you know, obviously single on each side, and you got yourself a Nitro that you just can't kill. And by the way, how cool is this little plastic mesh? Man, this thing is quite cool. So the steering, you know, four-wheel steering for a Nitro monster truck with a 3-speed, not sure how effective that will be, but it is quite cool. I wouldn't say you're getting a whole bunch of movement. You know, let's put it here on the roof, and you guys will check out the way the system is actually steering. So here it goes. Right, the back does move. Obviously, when you're driving, it'll move more. So we do have legitimate four-wheel steering, right? Got ourselves like a $16 Amazon servo, as I just said. We have chain drive, baby. Other than that, you know, motor bolts down with 4 screws. Boom, we have you know, pretty much plastic solid axles all around. This is like a 4-link style suspension. I must admit, the suspension system on the Kyosho is quite soft. Okay, so but these really were meant to be kind of like rock racers. I'm not gonna say they're like racing monster trucks. People think they are, but they're more or less rock racers. Don't let this wheelie bar here in the back fool you. So now, why don't we fire this up? I'm just kind of worried about the whole roller bearing with the 3-speed clutch belt. I already know that might be a situation. But there's only one way to tell. Let's fire it up. Nitro gang, baby. Let's see how long it takes me to fire this thing up. And we'll see. I'm basically at idle right now in the throttle setting. So I'm gonna raise the throttle trim just a little bit to make it easier for myself. First thing, we gotta observe fuel entering the carburetor. So this is our fuel line. I'm gonna put my leg here in the wheel in the back, and then I'm gonna prime it. Okay, I just saw fuel enter. I'm gonna do a little more. Okay, that should be adequate. So we know our fuel system seems to be holding a proper vacuum and pressure. That's a positive sign right away. Okay, so let's do this. Let's fire it up now. I got my radio pretty much nearby here just in case something goes wrong and I gotta apply the brakes. The failsafe is set. Throttle trim should be correctly adjusted, and now is basically the moment of truth, guys. Let's do this. Oh, I heard a little brap there. There we go. So it's trying to go. I have to really hold it. The throttle trim is too high. Okay, I lowered it. Okay. So here we go. Basically the problem that I knew was gonna happen. So as soon as it started up, there was just too much, you know, forward push from the truck. It's as if the clutch was engaged, and I'm pretty sure it was actually engaged. Now, before I rolled it freely, and now I am having a whole bunch of friction here from the clutch belt. So as I roll it, you know, basically if I take my fingers here, there is a ton of friction now from the clutch belt. Now I know the 3-speed is okay. It's basically the clutch belt. It's not hot, so I know the clutch wasn't really that engaged. So as I move it a little bit, there's no weirdness with the teeth. You know, the gear mesh is adequate and it's fine. But it seems that the clutch belt itself is probably causing some kind of friction due to the way that it is mounted. So right now what I'll do is I'm probably gonna go home now, take this off, which is kind of a shame because I need to break this motor in. I wish it just kind of idled even for a little bit. But let's try this again, guys. I've went home, I've removed one of the clutch shoes from the clutch. Maybe the clutch itself was not good, so we are currently running 2 clutch shoes. Let's see if this solves anything. We still have the original roller bearings. Now I'm waiting for the new regular bearings in the mail, but for now, let's just see what happens. So as you could tell, you know, it rolls fairly freely right now. The gear mesh is adequate. I put some WD-40 on the gears just in case, you know, for lubrication purposes. The system is on. Let's fire it up. We're gonna see if anything happens. You know, I have it right basically behind my tire in case there is a bad runaway or whatever. We're not gonna kill a nitro today. Throttle trim seems to have stabilized a little. It's still engaging. I need to break this motor, and that's basically the problem right now. So the motor is idling fairly consistently. Let me lower the idle speed a little. so the throttle does engage, but check this out. As soon as we apply a little bit of throttle, you know, it was going forward, but the clutch was engaging just too early. And then, you know, basically I let go of the throttle and the thing shut down. So I'm thinking, you notice how I'm moving it back? Well, I don't know. There was a little bit of a noise just now, but now it seems like the noise has gone away. It's like that Offspring song, Gone Away. Gone away now. It's weird. So right now I think, you know, I really would like to break this motor in at least. It's a brand new motor. It starts really good. These Kyosho motors, they run great. But this whole 3-speed clutch system I got going on, maybe it's the bearings, maybe it's the springs, but I checked the springs in the clutch. They were very good condition. Like, I did not notice anything weird with them. But let's see what happens. I'm going to try to start it up again. Yeah, you can hear it. You hear that grinding noise? Weird grinding noise. Right. I'm not sure. It seems like maybe the clutch bell is actually getting crooked as it, you know, as I accelerate a little bit, but the motor starts up fine. It's not hot. You know, I saw a good amount of nice rich smoke coming out of the pipe. So yeah, I basically, like right now, I have my fingers on the gears and I am having a tough time moving the gears actually with my fingers. Like, I'm trying to move it and I could tell that there's some kind of obstruction going on with this clutch bell. And actually the clutch bell is fairly warm as well. So that is not good. That means our clutch was engaged at a very low RPM because yeah, the car was trying to move forward a little bit. So I'm gonna wait for the new clutch bell bearings, then we'll have a little bit of an update later. Oh, 350Z, what's up, bro? What's up, 350Z? You get a thumbs up. If you smell what the Nitro Gang is cooking.
Girl so fine, but her breath is like whoa. She say she wanna dance, but she don't know how to whoa.